I'm Sophie from Stylecraft, and we've come to visit Knit Now and Crochet Now's fabulous studio, and we thought we'd take full advantage and ask Kate, who's the editor of Knit Now, and Jenny, who's the editor of Crochet Now, just a few questions, just so you can get to know them a little bit better and understand what they do for their role. So, I would like to ask you both, what does being an editor entail?
I'll let you start because you've been an editor longer than me.
Being an editor is very much kind of like a project management kind of job. You have to pull all of these different strands from all over, like your patterns are coming in and your photography is coming in and your pages are being laid out, and you have to manage that process and make sure everything goes smoothly, and uphold standards all the way through as well. So you need to make sure that every page is as perfect as it can possibly be, and you're usually working on a lot of issues at once at different stages. So for example, we our issue, as we're filming this just before issue 92 goes on sale. So issue 91 is still on sale. We're working on all of the promotion for issue 92. Issue 93 is in progress over at the office. Issue 94 is with my tech editors, getting all the patterns checked. And I've commissioned all the way up to issue 100. So there are designers and knitters working all the way up to issue 100. So you have to be able to keep all of that in your head. So, well, not in your head, usually in spreadsheets.
Or whiteboards. I like to use whiteboards to keep all my notes as intact as I can.
Yeah.
But yes, it's just a bit of everything. We're involved in some way in everything that goes in the magazine, whether it be the patterns that we commission to go in, we set the mood boards for those, or if designers approach us with those, the features that go into the magazine, we have a hand in picking those. Even to a certain extent, the people who choose to advertise in there, we work closely with our account manager to just keep in touch and decide who should go where and whatnot. And then also things like this, social media. We have our fingers in many pies.
Yeah, so
basically.
you kind of like oversee everything.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it boils down to that.
Yeah. Great. What is your favourite part of your job?
My favourite part of my job, I have two. Am I allowed two?
Yeah.
Okay. The first would be when I get to see brand new yarns come in before anybody else gets to see them, and I get to squish them and get excited about what's coming up, and you just feel like, ooh, I'm special, I get to have a look at them first.
That's editor's privilege. Like,
yes.
That yarn has come in and now that's mine.
It goes into we have a mythical yarn cupboard where all of our yarn samples go, and after a certain amount of time we're allowed to go into the yarn cupboard and go, I really like this, I'm going to keep
Well, you know,
this.
if we're going to design something that's going to go in the magazine,
we have to look
then,
very carefully and play with the yarn, obviously.
Yeah, you've got to test it out.
Yeah, and then that would lead me very nicely onto my second part, is when I get to test and play with any yarn, any patterns, and also same with yarns. When I get obviously I see patterns. Kate was saying she's commissioned up to issue 100. I'm seeing patterns that are going to come out in Crochet Now in February, and I've already seen them, and my fingers are itching to get started, so I can get started right away.
Yeah,
and I have in the past.
Yeah, and obviously you do get the patterns before everyone else,
exactly.
So you can cast on before anyone else gets.
I'm testing the patterns.
Yeah.
For
It's
myself.
very important.
And the magazine, of course.
Yeah. I think a lot of that in common with Jenny, but also for me, like, one of the amazing parts of this job is the people that you get to meet. So I work with some incredibly talented designers, folks like you, getting to, like, this is such a lovely industry to work in. Everyone's so sweet, and there's not, I mean, obviously there's always some sort of someone said something, but there's so little of that compared to other industries I've worked in, and folks from who are technically competitors are friendly with each other, and there's just such a lovely atmosphere when you go to a yarn show or anything like that. It's, for me, it's the people that we get to work with. This is such a unique industry, and I think because it's all about yarn, it's about people's spare time that they choose to spend with knitting and crochet, that there's so much love that goes into everything that people are making, that I think you just feel that even, you know, when we're here late at night trying to get a magazine to press. It's because when someone gets that into their hands, it's their little slice of me time, and you're giving them that bit of enjoyment, and that's, you know, that makes it really worth it at the end of the day, I think.
Yeah.
And working in an industry where almost everybody has a link to knitting and crochet,
Yeah.
and every knitter and crochet out there know that we're the best kind of people. We're just the happiest. We can talk about knitting all day, so
Yeah, it is
that
pretty
doesn't
great.
hurt. Yeah.
So since one of you works with knitting and one crochet, I would like to know what you think the differences are between knits and crocheters. What are they looking for that's different, or how do you think they think differently?
I think our research tells us that people use knitting and crochet for different kinds of projects.
Yes.
On average. I mean, obviously there are people that knit and crochet all different types of projects, but there are a lot more people crocheting blankets and a lot more people knitting garments, for example.
Yes.
Or you use crochet for toys and you use knitting more for socks, so things like that. In terms of,
I think in terms of the things that they make, those are probably the biggest differences.
Yeah.
But who they like to make for, so friends, family, gifts, I think they're very similar in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
We'll make for little people, I mean, little family members, nieces, cousins, sons, daughters, toys, that sort of thing.
yeah. I think you do see some differences in colour trends between knitting and crochet. I think the biggest example for this for me is if you go onto Instagram and you search knitters of Instagram and then you search crocheters of Instagram, the knitters are all very natural shades and all of that kind of thing, and the crocheters, there's a lot of white, there's a lot of rainbows, little pops of colour. So I don't know whether that's a factor of because crocheters use more for toys and home where you can get away with playing a bit more with colour. I think colour is so important to crocheters.
Bright, colourful blanket.
Yeah, which is why Special DK is such a hit with crocheters, because you've got that incredible colour choice. Whereas I think because knitting is more used for garments and things like that, it's like, you know, that life heritage, I'm looking at that, I go, instantly you can see that with a pair of jeans, it's very wearable.
Yeah.
So I think there's that kind of slight difference in colour choices that people use between the two. But there is a big overlap between knitters and crocheters. A lot of them are the same people, really.
They all love yarn, don't they? So.
Yeah.
I knit and crochet.
So do I.
Yeah, so we,
Yeah.
I'm sure you wanted something a bit juicier, but
No,
we do both. So.
No, we just know the truth. So, what projects are you both looking forward to the most for like autumn, winter?
So I'm looking forward to putting lots of hats back in my magazine. We always try and put lots of hats in, but I just love making hats, knitting and crocheting, and they're great for gifts. I must have a wardrobe full of hats that I just like to wear. They're great for one ball makes and big chunky woolly hats. I love them so much.
Yeah.
But it's been so hot.
It's been so
I've not needed a hat
No.
for a while, and it makes me sad.
Yeah.
I have bad hat hair and I need to hide it.
Same. I think mine's very similar. I just need that weather to cool down just a touch, because my favourite technique is stranded knitting, Fair Isle, which I want to be working in, like, you know, high wool content, all of that kind of stuff. But it's just that touch too warm for me, and I run hot anyway. We know this in the office. I'm always like a good 5 degrees warmer than Jenny is, and we sit next to each other. So yeah, I think just being able to switch, because I've been working in a lot of cottons and things like that, being able to switch back to wool, and
I am a sucker for Christmas as well. Just green, sparkle, shimmer. Father Christmas, I go mental for it, so I'm really excited to
Christmas.
to properly get stuck into Christmas. We've been doing Christmas for the magazines for a little while now, so that's been quite fun, even though it's been really hot.
Yeah.
But when it gets to the point where Christmas is done at work, Christmas just starts hitting the finish line at home. So it's been, we get about 6 months of Christmas, which I'm okay with.
Christmas.
Double Christmas, I'm fine with that.
yeah,
I just wish I got more Christmas dinner as well.
yeah, we should. Like, I commissioned my first Christmas project before Christmas last year.
Right.
So I've had, Christmas running on in the background since then. But you get sort of this magical little Christmas free window sort of at the end of November where you can breathe and like brace yourself for full actual Christmas. Because I love Christmas as well. Getting your decorations up and all of that kind of stuff.
Right. We've noticed that you've been doing a lot more videos lately for social media. How are you finding it? Are you enjoying it? Is it something you want to do more of? Just like to know that, please.
Yeah, I mean, we've been blessed with this really excellent studio setup, so it does make it a lot easier.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And yeah, I think it's just a chance to get to know our readers a bit more, face to face, you know, for them to know us a bit better. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it too.
Yeah, it takes a minute to get used to that, because you know we're words people. You know, we're magazines. It's you know you do your words, and it's not. We're not in it for the fame. But
I would suggest that we share links to our very first videos that we shared, and you can see the difference in just. Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah.
Just as you find with doing anything more, you get better at it, and it's more fun. But it's all very funny to watch the first videos and just see how not into it we are. Well, I am anyway. So
yeah, I had a bit of a running start because like I tried a little bit of vlogging myself like a couple of years ago just to see what it was like. But yeah, I think just the instant feedback that you get with video is so different from even blogging or being on Instagram or anything like that. Yeah, it's really lovely.
Yeah.
And there are so many, like, particularly crochet bloggers out there, top crochet bloggers, they use video to talk to people. It's just a lot more personal, I think, than the written word sometimes.
And we're using it for tutorials and stuff as well. And I think that's, you know, people learn in different ways. So some people need the words, some people need the pictures, and some people need the motion to be able to see what's happening. So being able to film tutorials here has been really helpful. So anytime we've had a tool in the magazine, so you've done tutorials for using the pom-pom makers, I've done tutorials for using circular needles and things like that, to be able to give our readers that extra bit of help and support is super useful, I think. And then they get more value out of the magazine because they've been shown how to use what they're getting.
Yeah, definitely. It's invaluable, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's great. Thank you so much for answering my questions.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, thank you for speaking to us today.
That's all right.